Jill and I mean it. All right. Been listening to Jilly from Philly all day. All day, and Bantu nutting separating my hair so that my daughter-in-law can do my hair. Nicole, you said you was gonna do my hair tonight when you get off of work. We'll see. Cause I thought she said the other night, 2 nights ago. But we ain't gonna complain because I can't do it. All I'm doing is separating it into some little Bantu knots because I have little Bantu knot hair. Every time I think I want my hair to continue to grow out from the afro, I end up cutting it because it's too much. So I'm always wanting, and then I'm always cutting. So it is what it is. You know, I like to start over and have boy brush hair. Now that the boy brush hair has grown out of its boy brush stage and I have to actually do something with it, I'm going to allow my daughter, hopefully, when she comes home tonight, to put some 2-strand twists in my hair and adding some kinky hair to it so that I won't have to comb it so much for work. My work day starts tomorrow with my new job. So wanted to catch you up on my books. I challenged myself for 10 days. Can I read these 10 books that I got from the library, or at least 10 books in 10 days? I have like 12 books from the library because I still had Patsy and then I had miscounted. So I got 7 of the 12 books completely read. It was supposed to be before tomorrow, before my work day. Today is Tuesday. I ain't gonna make it. So I started this book, Salman Rushdie's Grimace. There it is. And yeah, I DNF'd it. I got to about 26 pages. I shouldn't have taken my thing out because I wanted to show you. Or, well, I don't really want to read this part, but actually I do. I kind of, yeah, that's where I left off at 27, Flapping Eagle. And I was like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care. I was actually going to stop at page, let me go back. Let me see what page that was on where I was going to stop. And then I was like, nah, maybe that's the only time it happened. Then I found out it continued to happen. So basically what had happened was there's this character named Josu, aka Flapping Eagle. Now the book starts with Mr. Virgil Jones, a man devoid of friends with a tongue rather too large for his mouth, was fond of descending this cliff path on Tuesday mornings, and it's spelled Tiusday mornings. Mr. Jones, in parentheses, it says, Mr. Jones, something of a pedant and interested in the origins of things, referred to the days of the week as Sunday, spelled regular, Moonday, Moonday, Tiusday for Tuesday. Wednesday is Wednesday, Wodnesday. Thursday with an O, Tho, and so forth. Friday, Freyday. So, and then it says, and Saturday, it was affections like this, among other things, that had left him friendless. So basically he was a weird one, or just different, right? And that left him friendless. So then it goes on to Miss Dolores O'Toole, this lady, right? Come to find out, Dolores and Mr. Jones are getting it on. But Dolores got a whole husband. So yeah, he does some other stuff, whatever. And then it gets into Dolores and Mr. Jones again on the second and third, fourth page, right? And then all of a sudden it goes to Flapping Eagle. Flapping Eagle turns out to be this person called Josu. Josu, first name Joe, the man side, and Sue, the female side, because he's a hermaphrodite, right? It's talking about the confusion of his sex, right? And his sister's name is Bird Dog, and she's the one that cares for him. Parents, nowhere to be found, whatever. It's in the story. So anyway, they don't have parents. They have each other, the sister and the Josu, the brother sister, right? Well, things go on, and Josu, turning 21, has to, I guess, there are celebrations, birthdays, and things like that. And then there's also coming of age celebrations and what have you. Well, Joe Sue and Bird Dog, yeah, they get it on, the siblings. So Joe Sue is no longer a virgin, lost his virginity or her virginity because it's a boy girl to his sister. I put it down. I said, okay, sure, that can't happen no more. I mean, I put it down for a while, hours. And then I went back and I read back up to page 27. I said, yeah, nah, I'm done because uh, now they're away from each other. Bird Dog is taken up with somebody else and, going on living her life. And Joe Sue is going somewhere else, right? But then it talks about how they missed each other and their love making. So it wasn't just that one time. They have been bird dogging it out. And that's all I wanna. That's all I know. I just this ain't for me. Spiritually, I was like, girl, put that down. What's going on here? Why are you entertaining that? And even if I wasn't, I'm like, there's animals talking, and it's just not for me. It says this is his first novel, and I have got novels of his, and I had wanted to read the Satanic Verses. I've got two Salman Rushdie books. I don't even think I have one of them here, but I'm not sure. I thought I bought one. I think I did. It's down there on the bottom, and I can't see from here, even though I got glasses on because my eyesight is getting worse. Anywho, and of course, he wrote Midnight's Children, and I couldn't get through all of that. I got to 100 pages of that. But, so anyway, it's too much. I don't like the style. I did write down a whole bunch of words that he uses that I've never seen or don't see used often, because I like to write down words and then look up their definitions and write them down in my journal and just keep them. I like doing that. And I put it, the book and the author and the name of the book that I got the words from, right? So that's kind of part of my experience in reading the book. So I only got to page 27, and I thought, yeah, they had been doing the thing, and I don't think I want to keep entertaining that. It's just not for me, and not that I'm trying to be a prude, but there are certain things that you just don't want to waste your time on, and that book is one of those. So now that I have finished, also wanted to let you know as far as an update. I finished this one. It's And to Think We started as a book club, and then they're bank robbers. And it's so cute. And I'm thinking it's going to tell the story of how, like I said, I think in the previous video or another video that I didn't upload, I thought this whole book was about, them starting a book club and then they end up becoming criminals, right? It's not. It's basically cartoons by the New Yorker's Tom Toro. So every page is just a different cartoon, and it's saying, and some of them are so darn cute and clever and funny. And so I read this. I read all of them. Yes, I did. It was entertaining. So this is the one of the 3 series that I got from Tony Shiloh. Checked out 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and then 3. Right? I'm not going to read 2 and 3. I get the gist of it. It's about 3 friends who live together, and she's the first one. Holiday is her name. Holiday Brown, and she's a singer, and she's very popular and famous. Her dad is a singer and very popular and famous. And anyway, her 2 friends that she lives with, one's a ballerina and one is a supermodel. They're all famous in their own right? And they share an apartment. They've been friends forever. And then one of the friends, the model, she has a stalker, and so it's coming up against some crazy stuff going on with the stalker. She has a brother who, of course, Holiday knows because they went to school together. And so, of course, that's her love interest in the book. And it's a Christian series, Christian romance series, so it doesn't get into any spice. The only thing they did was kiss. And even then, they're like, hey, we're going a little too far. So it's really good. It's very cute. It's not the literary masterpieces of a literary fiction novel that I don't know, it's just cute, very very cute. And because you get the introduction of or because me, I got the introduction of all three characters and I've read one, I don't need to read the other two. Is that Darian? Is that Justice? So who's at the door? So is that you making noise? Okay. So then it was you, right? I did, and then I said, "Is that you?" I think I said, "Is that you?" And you said no. You're bad. Okay. Did you take a nap? You sure? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay. Because I hope you did, because your parents told you to take a nap. Your dad was pretty adamant. So you remember you can't turn that TV on. Okay. The little one. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just not going to go on these. These are cute. So the second one here is about the actual supermodel who is being stalked. And so what I was making sure of is if I did need to go on with it. And as I'm reading it, the writing is the same as the first one. And I can tell it's just going to be cutesy and the same. And I kind of think I know who her love interest is from the first book. So, and then the third book, don't know who her love interest is going to be, because the ballet singer didn't have a love interest at all in the first book, and maybe she will in the third one, which maybe she won't. I don't know. But it says it's a Christian romance. So she's the ballerina, and it says The Price of Dreams, Faith and Fortune #3. I don't really care though, because again, just back to back, cute, cute, cute. Not really in the mood for it. And sometimes when I just read several different types of genres, I might be in the mood for something like that. But right now, no. Who's to say I might pick it up from the library 6 months from now after I've read a bunch of nonfiction or literary reads? I don't know. I highly don't think so, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I read Blackbird. A group of kids who are, their t-shirts say black and queer, black and proud, black and this, black and that, and the other, and they have a little group they call Blackbird. They have trouble trying to get other, odd kids, like one's a skater, and so they're kind of the on the outside of the popular crew, I guess. And they meet up with a bookstore owner who's a black-owned bookstore, and it's real cute. I got it again. I was gonna see if I can read this and just get some ideas on how the layout is for graphic novels, and I'm enjoying all the graphic novels for that reason. Kind of doing some homework, so to speak. So there's the bookstore in the red, black, and green, which is really cool, and it's just kind of cute, but it's not for my grandkids. So with that said, there's a character in here, and he's kind of getting on these kids about their pronouns. He talking about what pronouns? I know, I know what they are, but I don't believe in them. And he's just going off on these kids and talking about they pushing a little gay agenda on them, and you can't handle a strong black man. And he's all, they call him a hotep in there and stuff. So it's cute little book, especially if you're reading this for the art, for the conversations. I think it's good for like book clubs that just read a lot of stuff. Sometimes books clubs will read a graphic novel or something lighter, just for the conversations that go along with the topics. I can imagine sitting around talking to a group of people, a good 25, 30 people, and everybody have different opinions about where they stand with the pronouns, and being an outsider themselves maybe, and just or being against groups like this. So the conversations, I think this is a good conversation starter for a lot of people. But again, I just enjoyed the art as well as just all the faces that they make, the different. They have a zine festival, right? And it's a black zine festival. So, because they had trouble getting people in their group, so they come up with the idea of having a black zine festival, and then all these, black creators show up, and it's successful, and they get to meet other people, and there's just not their own little group of friends, which they like, but they want to, spread out, and they know that there are other people out there like them that are the skater kids or the weird kids, and this is black and weird, and so forth and so on. So that's what the group was about, getting like-minded people, not all just black and queer. There's a different range of kids in this group, and they're attracting more. And so it's really cool in that respect. So I liked it, loved the artwork, loved it, the artwork. So I hated this. John Fosse's A Shining, and I've already told y'all. Loved Merriment, and I told y'all about that, and great art. And I loved Patsy, not as much as I did Here Comes the Sun, but yeah, there was a point in there that I cried, that I didn't cry in Here Comes the Sun. A Black Man's Guide to Getting Pulled Over, unfortunately necessary. It's only 30 pages, and the art is really good. You got the parents teaching their kids, black parents, and then it goes off into, I wonder what Latino parents have to talk about. I wonder what Caucasian parents have to talk about. I wonder what Asian parents are talking about with their kids, while black people are talking to their kids about, being obedient when they're stopped by the police. So different conversations, and then of course that famous chair that a lot of black homes had, and of course that Huey P. Newton, very reminiscent. And then my son, grandson, has this, which I took because I think it's some of the content in there is too old for a 6-year-old's mind right now. And of course, he can see on my bookshelf and know who James Baldwin is, and we'll talk about some of that. And there's loads of good pictures back here of James Baldwin, and look at the artwork. I mean, come on. Look at Angela Davis. Look at that. Maya Angelou. Another beautiful picture of James Baldwin and one of his interviews on TV. So it's really good, but there was a part in here where I was like, yeah, I don't think he needs to know all of that. All of that right now, because I always check with the parents. But his mother did check this out, but I know that it might go into detail about his private life, and what's the point of that for a 6-year-old, right? Because, yeah, maybe they're not ready to answer those questions yet. And then, of course, I still have Moms, and that's what I'm going to be reading today, as well as my brilliant friend, DNF in that one. And then, Artists, which is by the same writer of Moms. It's Myung Shin Ma. Artists, I already started that one, so that's why this one's it's in the living room. These are the two that I'm keeping to read, along with the Artist. So that's 3 more, and then I'll be done with my library checkouts. Unfortunately, I didn't finish them all before tomorrow, because there's no way. Because the artwork in here, I'm going to be pondering on, and I'm not going to push myself to read this in one night. Got it upside down, child. But check it out. Look at the artwork. It's very highbrow, fine art, shall I say. Look at that. Beautiful. So says my shirt. Alright, let me do that. Get my beautiful hair done. Alright. That's all I got. What you reading? Did you think I was going to read 10 books in 10 days? I read 7. I'm 3 off. How can I help you? You want to come in here?
No.
You're staring at me.
I'm just saying what you're doing.
I know, but you're staring at me. Come on in here. Don't be a creep. Come on in here. Don't stare at me. Come here. Come here. No, like real close. I want you to get a real good stare. Get your eyeballs on me. Get your eyeball on me, son. That's what you gotta do to kids. They being weird, you be weirder. Okay, bye. Say bye.
Ah,
I love you, Justice.
that's beautiful.
Okay. Weirdy McWeirdson. Oh, make sure you get your that library book out, the one that you bought out. You need to be reading that, because you're gonna do a book review.
The Great Race.
Yep, The Great Race, the one you had yesterday, same one. I don't have anything else, so I'll talk to you guys later. Somebody come over here and close my closet door. Why is it still open? Oh, I know why. Because I was getting some hair stuff out of there. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm. Mm, mm. Too old to be doing my hair. Didn't even get to do the other nails. Painted one side pink. The other one is just raw and waiting. Oh, because I start making coffee and reading. Justice,
Yes.
bring me my book in there. It's a big old book. I think it's over there by that chair that Grandma was sitting in.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'll show y'all that, and that you haven't seen it, but I just wanted to show you the art in it. Chaka Khan is on now, Tiny Desk. I'm listening to Jill Scott all day now that I went to Chaka Khan. Thank you, sir. Read your book, no TV. Artist Yong Shin Ma. I hope I'm saying that right. If not, so sorry. So basically, it started on the big-headed character first. This one here with the big forehead. So I think that's the one. Yeah, it started with the big-headed character first. There he is. No, not that one. Right here. Child. Hyperrealism and the world and the age of image overload. Yeah. So this one is going to be really good too, because moms is something else. They be cussing and stuff, but the thing is, there's all these single older moms, of age, and one of them's got a man. And it just starts off with a marriage, and then later I think they get divorced or whatever, and then one of them has a man, or it's the same one. She has a man that comes over, and he's younger, and he only comes over in the night, and the other ones are trying to warn her he's just using her. It's adult, issues in a graphic novel. And I'm telling you, since I love art and I love books, graphic novels, why weren't I into these? Because I literally thought it was just for kids or young folks, but yeah, not so much. Not so much. So really, this is getting good, you guys. So I just wanted to show y'all some of the artwork and how it's helping me, because there are very few words sometimes, and then there's all this dialogue, or the subject matter is headstrong like his head, and it's so good. And since this is artist, I think it's going to be right up my alley, because right now it already is, and I'm just at the beginnings of the book, the very beginnings, babes. All right, you see my throw, my bed, my shiny, silky pillowcase. I actually have two, but I'm only using one of them. The other one's in the drawer. My sister Tanya gave me those. Hello, Tanya, big sister. Thanks for those pillowcases, because they're so soft up against my hair, my afro, when I don't wear my bonnet that I took off so I can do these separation and bantu knotting. Oh, child, I only got a little bit to go, but my arms, I'm gonna take a break. And then my yellow pillow, my artwork, and of course over here is the wall that I'm going to paint the mural on. And I'm thinking now, which was my original thought, actually my original thought was to paint. I asked my son and daughter-in-law, can I paint on this wall, because this is their home, but this is my room. And let me tell you, they said yes immediately, right? So I'm thinking, I had a million and one thoughts, and then I'm thinking, I love this. I did this at home in Texas, and I want a bigger one. I kept saying I would paint that on a wall. So I'm thinking, I might paint that on a wall. Of course, it ain't gonna be exact because that's just winging it. And I did cutouts, and then I might trace the cutouts, and then I stop with the cutouts and just do freehand weird shapes. But the color scheme is what I love, and since it matches my headboard, this king size headboard, I think I'm going to do that. But what I'm going to do it, what I'm thinking, because I might change my mind, but I already have the idea of doing that same style of shapes and colors, as close as I can get to them, because I mixed a lot of those colors, but the turquoise is pretty much right out of the can. So if I can get some turquoise, and then I can, get some greens, and mix the colors that I want. All the colors, the pink, everything else except for that lighter turquoise. That came out of the can. Everything else, the blues, the pinks, and all those other colors, I mixed to get those hues. So I'm not gonna get that same thing again. But at least the turquoise will be matchy matchy. Not that it has to be, but I do want some sort of continuity. What I'm thinking is doing like basically a border of that, because I'm gonna have to move my bed to get over there to do it. So I also want to film it. Since only one person said to film it, to paint it, I'm gonna do it. Okay, so that's all I wanted and needed. So oh, my shoulder hurts. So I'm gonna do the border, and then I'm also gonna do it up the middle, so I can have two big squares, so I can paint people, of course, with the one big eye hanging out their heads. And it's just the way I normally do my people, you know. Weird, beautiful, gorgeous. And the colors of their clothes will match, possibly the shapes and colors, but their faces, it might be brown people with purple highlights. I don't know. They can have red hair. I know I want one with red and purple hair, and then the other one could have like black and brown for the guy. So it'll be a guy and a girl, and then in this frame of shapes like that, painting on the wall. That's that on that. And if I change it up, you'll see it at the time. But that's my plan, man. I gotta work tomorrow. Pray for me. Pray for me. But that's what's gonna get my my money, so I can paint on this wall every Saturday and Sunday, and I'm happy about it. So yeah, and I get paid every week.